Hi everyone, I'm Tung, one of the managing partners at GGV Capital. I'm here with the CEO of StockX, Cutler, and you're not going to get people to guess where we are right now. It's the super secret store of StockX. We have the amazing inventory for VIPs to take a look and see what's available on StockX. So without further ado, here's Scott Cutler, the man himself.
It's great to be here.
It's nice to have you. I remember when we first met you, you were still at eBay, running their ticket business. How did you get involved with StockX in the first place?
So yeah, for me, it's been a bit of a serendipitous story because when StockX started, they put out a press release that stated that they were going to build the next new e-commerce business based on the principles of the New York Stock Exchange, StubHub, and eBay. And so I sent a LinkedIn message to Josh Luber, then the CEO and one of the co-founders of StockX, and said, there's one person in the world who has that background. I've been either CEO or worked at those places. And from the very beginning, I saw the potential of the opportunity given the combination of things that were put together in the product experience. And so that was back in 2017. And so it's been an amazing journey for the company since that time.
Right, it's mind-boggling that you're involved with the very first week of a company, and just a cold message out there, and boom.
Yeah.
And then 2 years later, become the CEO. What made you decide that this was the company you want to join and become the CEO?
Well, I don't know if it was by intention, but certainly if I look back over my career, it's been in marketplaces. It's from everything from financial services, equities and derivatives, to ticketing and entertainment, to commerce at eBay. But what I observed in all of those different marketplaces is, one, just the power of platforms.
Right.
When you can create a platform that has the ability to convene buyers and sellers globally, if you can do that, that's a huge business. But I think the unique aspect of what I saw in the challenges of marketplaces is most marketplaces that we're familiar with, whether that be content, transportation, commerce, typically the platform itself has a very difficult time managing the customer experience. And you typically can only manage that customer experience by policy or by taking down listings or removing sellers or doing all these things. But so StockX being in the position of being in the middle of the transaction and to be able to create a consistent experience in a marketplace model, to me, was a really exciting concept at the time, but has turned out to be a truly innovative approach to a consumer marketplace today.
Yeah, and the sellers is a big part of the community, obviously. How do you build that loyalty with the sellers? I remember walking into some of the hamburger fast food restaurants wearing a StockX t-shirt, and many people come up and chat about StockX. It's very impressive, the name recognition almost anywhere you go. And many of them had experience either buying or selling. Many of them actually sold on StockX. How do you build that loyalty so they have this identification, that affinity towards the brand?
Yeah, I think one of the most interesting observations of the last year during the pandemic has been the growth of our sellers. We've sold hundreds of millions of dollars of product from first-time sellers on the platform. And what's also been interesting on those first-time sellers, they're 2 times more likely to be women on the platform. And so for us, the sellers, we think we're creating an economic opportunity for them. We have to be able to provide tools and information and data to make the selling experience on StockX seamless. Yep. So you don't have to upload a photo, you don't have to create a description, you don't really have to do any work. You just have to say, I'm selling these Wahlburgers and I'm selling them at this price. And that's all we ask.
It's almost like buying a Apple stock or buying a Facebook stock. It's the same. Then you have to see the certificate to verify nothing. Authentication is extremely important. How do you guys build out and evolve your authentication strategy and technology over time?
Authentication is the center of our experience, and it's the place where we use technology and human touch to guarantee the customer experience. No other e-commerce platform in a third-party marketplace has added this extra service and been able to do that at scale and profitably as a service for our customers. And so originally it was like, can you do this? Can you actually touch the product and do that in a model that can scale? And I think what we learned early on is, since we were so dedicated to building that skill set of what authentication meant, and being able to identify the fact that we were only going to authenticate against a single condition, we were able to create both technology and processes to allow us now to scale in the thousands and thousands of products that we authenticate every single day. We have now 11 authentication centers around the world.
Yeah.
Which allows us to both scale that process into other regions, but also we're training people, and then we're deploying our technology, our machine learning out to other places around the world to help us do that job better for our customers.
How have you seen the brands react as you gain more popularity and more things happening? Are they talking to you about launching their new product on your platform? What are the other things that's interesting?
So marketplaces are the next evolution for brands. It was years ago where brands started to talk about omni-channel, and that was largely omni-channel with their distribution channel that was largely starting to go online.
Yeah.
But today brands are thinking about, how do they go direct to consumer? How is it that their traditional distribution models through brick and mortar and others is changing rapidly? And then you have this other pocket of the economy, which is marketplaces, which have provided a way more efficient opportunity for customers to engage. And so what we've been really excited about is that we have more and more brands that are coming to us because they want to attract that demographic that's core to StockX. Yep. One of the, I wouldn't even call it a fringe example, but we did a partnership of a release of a product from Revlon, a beauty product that was also with Megan Thee Stallion, and they put together a great new collaboration and sold that for the first time and released that on StockX, and it sold out within minutes. Right. So for us to be a platform of choice for a brand like Revlon to release product, again, is us a signal that we're a place that can be a partner for brands. And so as we look at over time, we think there's a new model to be able to release product out into the market, and we hope to be a channel for brands over time.
So growing up, you hear of New York City, LA, where I grew up. A lot of investments have been going into Detroit downtown to revitalize this area. Rocket has gone public, and it's become a landmark and a place to try a lot of talent. Seems like you guys could be the next big thing for Detroit. How do you think about that, and how do you, in that context, build a global distributed workforce?
And Detroit's been the center of our heritage as a company. Our founders were from here. Our inspiration came from one of our founders, Dan Gilbert, as you said, built such an amazing company here. I've said this before, you don't need a West Coast zip code to create a unicorn type of company. I think it comes down to your ability to attract talent, get great talent, but also be able to build a culture that's true to your company. And so for us, being headquartered in Detroit roots us in this city that has actually a deep history of innovation, and yet it kind of got lost along the way. Right. And so we're part of this renaissance of this area, and I think that will be a great part of our heritage as a company of being born and raised in the city of Detroit.
The last question will be for young people who want to get into a business or something that has to do with current culture, because this is what they love, this is what they understand. What will be a advice or the wisdom that you can share with them as they start their career, pursuing something that's their passion?
Well, there's an old adage that says, grow where you're planted. I think it's really important for anybody in any position to do well at what you're doing. It creates opportunities for you. And then I think the second thing is, man, if you have the opportunity to just align your pursuit with your passions, it's just going to unlock energy for you to go and attack life with vigor.
Yeah, and you're certainly doing that.
Yeah.
So this is why you're successful. Great. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Hans.